What's up, guys? My name is Luke, and it's certainly been a while. I'm really glad to be back here. I haven't made a YouTube video, actually sat down and made a YouTube video in years. I've posted random things I've recorded, but yeah, I've always had fun doing it, and so I'm trying to do a little more again. But today what I want to talk to you about is my pedal board. I just recently been putting it together, my guitar effects pedals. I'm trying the best that I can to build something good without spending a ton of money. I've been getting into electric guitar recently, and so I've obviously wanted to get some pedals and stuff together too. So I just kind of wanted to talk to you guys about that today. So the first thing in my pedal board chain is this. This is the Boss FV500H volume pedal. It's a pretty well-known volume pedal. It is massive. I mean, huge. I have a size 13 shoe, and this thing can fit my whole foot on it. It's ridiculous. But it's a perfectly functional volume pedal. It has our input, output, and an expression out. You can double this as an expression pedal, which is really nice if you need to do that for some reason. The side has a tuner out, which I really like. It's not always necessary, but it just keeps it out of my actual signal chain. It keeps my tuner pedal out of the way. One less thing for my cables to run through. A minimum volume knob on the side, so that you can choose how much volume is getting through when the pedal is turned all the way down. I don't know why you would want volume to still come out when you have it all the way down. I guess you could then theoretically kind of use it like a boost. If you turn this up to like the maximum volume through, and then it just gets louder when you push it forward. So you could use it as a volume boost if you wanted to, but that's not really functional for me because I mostly have a volume pedal for the sake of doing swells. Perfectly good volume pedal. Boss, which means this thing could survive an apocalypse, and I'd still be able to do epic swells at church. So right after that Boss volume pedal, we have the Behringer OD300 overdrive distortion. Now this is a Behringer pedal, and if you don't know anything about Behringer pedals, basically what they do is they take really popular circuits and copy them, and then they put them into Boss-style plastic enclosures instead of metal. And a lot of people don't like that. They do feel a little bit cheap. The stomp box is not the best on my board, but they sound great, and this was $30, brand new. Like, you can pick these up for so cheap. It is throwaway money in comparison to other pedals, and they sound really, really good. So if you're just starting to build your first board, this is definitely worth it. The overdrive distortion, the OD300, totally worth it. 4 knobs, level, tone, drive, and mode. You can just kind of dial it between the overdrive and distortion, so you can put it somewhere in the middle if you want to, more distortion, more overdrive. I have another overdrive pedal, spoiler alert, so I usually have this leaned a little more towards the distortion, kind of sits in the middle, but really good if you're trying to do something on a small budget. Alright, so after the Behringer overdrive distortion, we have this. This is a DoD overdrive plus. It's the FX50B. It's kind of a branch off of the classic DoD 250 preamp overdrive. 3-knob level tone drive. I usually keep the drive actually pretty low. I use this kind of like a, not really an amp sim, but kind of like an amp sim. I pretty much always have this on. But with the drive turned down so that I get some drive on there, but still towards the clean end of things, because I really like that sound. And then if I need to kick it into high gear, I turn on the Behringer distortion with the overdrive and get some really, really nice overdriven sounds out of that. This is really nice. I got this on Marketplace, actually, on Facebook, and got a really good deal on it, picked it up just because I was looking to try to build out more of a board. Didn't know anything about it, didn't really care too much. I'm just like, I need an overdrive. And I have not regretted it one bit. This is a really great sounding overdrive made in the mid 90s, I believe. DoD always makes great stuff. You can pretty much rely on them for everything. And yeah, the only downside I had to this was my options were either a really old power connector that I didn't currently have, or a 9-volt battery. So I just kind of got one of the one-spot 9-volt battery clip adapters to a 9-volt barrel jack, and that works just fine. It's a bit noisier because I'm currently still using daisy chain power, isolated power supply on the list. But daisy chain power is working for right now. It's just my board's a little noisy, has a bit of a hiss. That being said, great overdrive pedal. Absolutely love this thing. Basically always on when I'm playing guitar unless I'm looking for a really, really clean tone. Super good pedal. The Boss CH1, a great chorus pedal. It's a Boss, and Boss pretty much just exclusively makes quality pedals. Sounds really great. I keep the depth and rate towards about 1 o'clock just to get enough of the chorus sound that I want, at least with my guitar. Really like that. Has the mono input and output, and then a second output just for, I believe, the dry signal to go out of. Don't quote me on that. I don't really use the second output at all, so it's there. Really great chorus pedal. I am a big fan of the chorus effect. When I was putting together my board, it was really important to me that I found a chorus pedal. I had originally bought a Electro Harmonix Neo clone, and then I found this, a really good deal on this Boss pedal. So once the Neo clone came in, I basically just immediately sold it again because I played around with it a little bit, but this is just a better chorus pedal in most circumstances. No discredit to EHX. That is a great company and still a great chorus pedal, but this has a lot more control. 4 knob versus 1 knob and a toggle switch. So definitely love this chorus pedal, and I love chorus effect. I use it all the time. I'll use it clean, I'll use it distorted. It's not always on for sure, but in the right context, I absolutely love using chorus. Alright, and after the CH1, we have the JHS 3 Series Harmonic Tremolo. I was looking for a tremolo pedal, and JHS is just one of the best modern pedal companies that is out there. They make amazing pedals for just about anything you need, and the 3 Series is great. These are awesome sounding pedals with really simple controls. All of them have 3 knobs and a switch, and then they just sound great, they feel great, and they're $99 each, which is really, really good for the quality that you get from JHS. They all look exactly like this, just with relabeled controls for whatever pedal you have. They have overdrives, they have octave reverbs, they have fuzz, but this harmonic tremolo is really nice. It has a toggle switch so you can switch between the harmonic tremolo and the standard tremolo, as well as a volume, rate, and depth knob, which are really nice. I keep the volume a little below noon, just because this pedal tends to boost my signal a good bit, and I don't always want that. So I keep the volume down a little bit, rate to 1 o'clock, depth down around 10 o'clock, and that gives me the sound that I want. It's a pretty fast tremolo, so when I have it set that way, so if I want it to slow down a little bit, you just adjust the rate knob. Personally, I really like the sound of harmonic tremolo over standard. Standard is just, I don't know, I feel like I have to turn the depth down a lot more on a standard tremolo for me to be happy with how it sounds. So I usually keep this on the harmonic tremolo mode, but it's nice to have options, so that toggle switch is a cool little addition, and it's JHS, and JHS is probably my favorite pedal company that exists. Moving on, we have a recurring player, Boss again, with the DD3 digital delay. There's a lot of variants of this. They've been making this for decades now. This is the, I believe, early 2000s variant, 2002 or 2005. I don't remember for sure. You can pretty much only tell by looking at the circuit on the actual PCB on the inside of it. So I did that just to find out which model that I had. I was a little beat up, got some tape residue on the front from a previous owner because I did buy it used, which I have done with not all of these pedals, but several of them. I honestly don't use this pedal a whole lot. It's a great digital delay, but I don't always use delay, especially because this doesn't have tap tempo. So I really want to get a new delay pedal that has tap tempo on it, because that's just more useful for most of the things that I'm using it for. This, while being a perfectly good delay pedal, doesn't have that. Really nice sounding delay pedal, works really well, has a good bit of control. You have the hold feature, which I think is really cool. You can just play a note and then hold down this pedal, and it'll just keep repeating that one note at full volume over and over and over again until you let go, which isn't like the most common use case for it, but I think it's a really cool ability that it has, which is why even when I get a new delay, I might still keep this on my board. Yeah, overall, pretty great delay pedal, especially considering I paid almost nothing for this. Super cheap. It's a Boss pedal. You can't go wrong. Alright, so the last pedal in my signal chain is this, the Behringer DR600. It's another one of those really inexpensive Behringer pedals. It does a bunch of kinds of reverb. It does spring, plate, hall, gate, and room, as well as a modulate reverb setting on there. You've got 4 knobs, so you've got the mode select, the time, the tone, and the level. I usually have the time set to the max, and I'm still playing with the level. I have it set to right now about 10 o'clock. I like it there because it gives me enough reverb to do swells, but isn't like overly present when I'm just using chords. It's often on the spring reverb setting. It's not the best spring reverb you're ever going to hear, because this is a $45 reverb pedal. But all of these reverbs, it does at the very least decently. It is not the most amazing reverb pedal in the world. There are definitely some better ones I'll probably upgrade eventually, but for right now, $45 for a digital reverb that does as much as this one is a really good deal. And while Behringer is not as good at replicating digital pedals as they are at analog pedals, this is still one that is worth picking up if you're looking to create a really low budget board to get started with. And the last thing on my board, which isn't super exciting, is this. It is just an onstage pedal tuner. Just uses a 9-volt barrel jack adapter like every other pedal. Pretty loud foot switch. But not that big of a deal. Yeah, there's not much to talk about here. It's a very inexpensive tuner pedal. It tunes, it's chromatic. And I just run it out of the tuner out on the volume pedal, and it works. It tunes my guitar just fine. No issues with it whatsoever. Yeah, good pedal overall. Good. I mean, if you don't feel like spending $80, $100, $120 on something like Polytune or the Walrus Canvas tuner, $36. Really inexpensive and doesn't take up a lot of space. That's another thing I really like about it, is this can fit just about anywhere on my board, and that is something I was looking for because I don't have a very big board. It's kind of maxed out right now. If I get more pedals, I'm going to have to either find creative ways to rearrange or build or buy a new board. Yeah, but that's every pedal on my board.
I wanted to take a minute to just talk about the actual board itself. Me and my roommate just built this in our garage. We had wood left over from a couple of old projects, drilled out the holes. That's why they're a little messy, but they're great for running power cables and a few of the patch cables. We just screwed it together, happened to have a plank big enough, and then this case that we just had laying around the house, ripped out the guts from the inside, and it fits the board perfectly, and holds my cables, and holds everything just really nicely, and it's great for traveling back and forth when I'm playing it out somewhere.
So that is every pedal that is on my board. We looked at what I'm working with now. Yeah, so thanks so much for tuning back in. If you watched this, thank you, because I'm mostly doing this for fun, the same reason I've always made YouTube videos since I was 13, 14 years old. I think it's fun to record and talk about what I love, or say funny things, or make skits, or whatever. I always enjoy that, and I enjoy the editing process and the recording process too. So I don't know, I have time. We might see some more stuff coming up on this channel, or we won't, and this will be another one-off that I just post for fun and never think about again. But either way, I'm enjoying making content again, and we'll see if I keep doing it. So thanks for tuning in. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments down below. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, and I will see you next time.